Hello and welcome to Binary News, your daily dose of focused gaming news. Myself, Amata. Today is the 2nd of July, and this time I'm bringing you something a little bit different, as we have some interesting comments from the EA COO, Peter Moore, who discussed the nature of new trends in the games industry as part of an interview, and basically suggested that core gamers are perhaps a little stuck in their ways. And basically said that they aren't comfortable with change. And for those who are wondering what he was referring to, well, he was of course speaking of EA's much loved microtransactions and slightly less loved free-to-play titles. Now, during an interview with GI.biz, he said, quote, "I think we're going into almost a golden age of gaming where it doesn't matter where you are at any time, any place, any price point, any amount of time, there's a game available to you. And our job as a company is to provide those gaming experiences and then on our big franchises tie them all together." Now, of course, this ties in fairly well with EA's plan to offer shared experiences across many platforms, such as the Battlefield 4 Commander tablet mode, FIFA 14 Ultimate Team, and of course the mobile versions, as well as of course the Origin store for the PC and their wide collection of multi-format console releases. Now, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, they are big fans of microtransactions, but free-to-play is also going to be coming more into the fore. And EA have fortunately recognised that they haven't exactly been the best with microtransactions, and they actually recently admitted they could have done better with the treatment of the Dungeon Keeper's mobile reboot payment model. I think they actually admitted they kind of screwed up quite heavily on that particular one. I think, the public flaming they got for that was enough to kind of make them go, maybe not. But Peter Moore feels that the problem just doesn't lie with EA, but with actually the unwillingness of core gamers to embrace new ideas. And he said, quote, "I think the challenge sometimes is that the growth of gaming, there's a core that doesn't feel quite comfortable with that. Your readers, the industry in particular, I don't get frustrated, but I scratch my head at times and say, look, these are different times, and in different times usually invoke different business models, different consumers come in, they've got different expectations, and we can either ignore them or embrace them, and at EA we've chosen to embrace them. There is a core controversial statement coming from me, sadly, but that just doesn't like that because it's different, it's disruptive, it's not the way it used to be. It's put my disc in the tray or the cartridge in the top and I sit there and play. And all these young people coming in, or God forbid, these old people coming into gaming." Oh, Peter, no. That's all I have to say, to be honest, because, look, gamers aren't afraid of change. I think most reasonable people, gamers or casual gamers or whatever the balls, would welcome a breath of fresh air, some change coming into the industry. I don't think, we're some sort of brand of hermit people that, second something new appears, we have to stomp it out and kill it. No, that's, I think, personally untrue for most people. Of course, everyone is different, blah, blah, blah. But I think the majority of people would say, look, we're perfectly aware that times are changing, we need to bring in new ways of monetization, blah, 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 blah. And other games have shown that gamers are perfectly happy to play free-to-play games, to play games with microtransactions. I mean, just look at League of Legends. Look no further than League of Legends, really, because that is a game that is both free-to-play and has microtransactions. And by the way, EA, the only games that should have microtransactions are free-to-play. Just saying, I've said this before, but you don't listen, so I'm saying it again. Just look at the popularity of League of Legends, or Dota 2, or, Smite, any of the other millions of free-to-play titles, mobile or otherwise, that have microtransactions in some way. Now, let's take League as an example. I'm not particularly familiar with the game, but I've seen enough of it to know that the model in terms of monetization is fair. You can easily play and still get a good experience without ever paying a penny. If you want to play a little bit, then cool. But you can quite happily just play for free and never give them your money, and you will still have a good time. That is the key. League of Legends is fair. Many games are fair. when it comes to microtransactions. I believe it was Blacklight Retribution. That was pretty fair. Just to give a couple of examples, the ones that are successful are usually the ones that are also fair. Because, no one likes to be nickel and dimed. That is the problem. That is why people reacted badly to Dungeon Keeper on mobile. That is why people reacted badly to microtransactions in Dead Space 3. That is why people have reacted badly to the microtransactions in Forza. And the fact that there's probably going to be microtransactions in Forza Horizon, the new one. They don't like to feel like they're being rinsed, like the company making the game sees them nothing more than a wallet on legs to be plucked at and kind of, give me all your money, you paid $60, but I still want all your money, gimme. That is what they have a problem with. It's not change, it's feeling like they're being nickel and dimed and having a possibly buggy game shoved in their face. Obviously they're paying probably good money to get into the game in the first place, and then they're being asked for more. That is what they don't like, and I don't blame them, because I've ranted about this so many times and I'm getting really, really tired of repeating myself, but I have to keep saying it because, well, this topic keeps coming up. They still keep saying things like this, and I'm like, no, Peter, sit down and don't ever speak again, because seriously, you could not be more wrong. Gamers don't care about new change. We don't care about that. This industry is evolving so rapidly. If we were afraid of change, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't leave the house in the morning, for fuck's sake. But what we don't want is to be nickel and dimed and have some of our favourite franchises ruined or lessened because they're rushed out by a publisher who doesn't have any patience, i.e. Battlefield 4 was a mess on release, and yes, it's better now, much more playable, but it ruined the experience of that game for a lot of people because it was rushed out. We don't like that, we don't like being nickel and dimed, but we do like games that are fair with their microtransactions. Microtransactions are fine in a free-to-play title. That is the key. So tired of talking about this, but anyway, guys, I went off on a bit of a rant. Sorry about that, but do let me know your thoughts. I'll see you next time.